In this video, I'm going to talk about exactly how anyone can start their own online business. So the business model that I'm going to be talking about today is something called the Middleman Strategy. Now, there are a lot of different ways to make money online, like drop shipping, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, whatever it is. But today I'm going to be talking about the Middleman Strategy because this is the business model that I use. This is something that I came across um, almost a year ago, and this is what I've been doing ever since. And I think it's pretty great. It's easy enough, I think, to understand. Now, I'm not an expert in this by any sense, but I think I do have a good basis premise, or at least I know enough to kind of talk about it. So that's what I'm going to do. So before I get into how you can actually make money using this, I'm going to talk about what it is. So what is the middleman strategy? I think the best way to possibly explain this, or the most to make things as simple as possible, is to give you an example. So if you look at companies like Uber, they're not the ones actually. Uber's not the one actually driving the customers, right? So a customer will reach out to Uber and say, "Hey, I need to go to this location." Uber will then reach out to a driver and say, "Hey, take this customer to this location and we'll pay you." Uber is kind of using the middleman strategy in a sense where they're just the guy in the middle. The Uber is the company in the middle, kind of organizing everything where a customer can just reach out to Uber instead of reaching out to the driver. And it's more, and they somehow found a way to make it convenient, and simple for the customer to just press a couple buttons on their phone, and a driver will then come to their location and pick them up. So Uber is using the middleman strategy. They're just the guy in the middle. Uber's not the one driving you. They're not the ones doing the actual driving. All they're doing is connecting the customer to the driver. So the middleman strategy is essentially you finding someone who needs a particular service, getting them to pay you for that service, turning around using that money to find someone who can deliver that service for you, and paying them less than what you got paid. Now, I guess it almost sounds too good to be true. Like, why would a person pay you more than, you know, what they can pay if they can just go directly to the person? But a lot of companies are doing this. Like I mentioned, Uber, Experian, DoorDash, Instacart, just to name a few. And again, it doesn't have to be something of this grand scale, but as long as you can find someone who needs something and just find someone else who can deliver that something, you have a business model, I would say. So, something you can do at a much smaller scale, right, is find businesses that need a logo for their business, because there are a lot of businesses, there are a lot of startup businesses out there that don't have a logo, that don't know how to create a logo or design a logo, that need a logo. So what you can do is literally go on websites like Craigslist and find these people that need a logo. They will literally be asking. If you go on Craigslist, you can find people that need a logo. What you can do is reach out to these people then and say, "Hey, I can create a logo for you," and charge them like $50 for the logo. They'll pay you the $50. Then you use that $50 to go on websites like Fiverr or any other freelance website, pay somebody $10, $5 to build a logo, and then you take that logo and then you give it to that guy on eBay that needs a logo. And that could literally be your business model, right? And it doesn't have to be a logo. It can be anything like a website, or social media marketing, social media content, ads, whatever it is. As long as you find someone who needs a particular service and there's someone else that you can find that can deliver that service, you have everything you need for your business, pretty much. Now, there are a lot of questions that can arise from this, like, okay, I understand the middleman strategy, but how do I find people that need a particular service? For me, or number one, before you do that, I would say first find a service that you can sell, or pick a niche, pick a service, whatever it is. But once you do that, how you can find people who need that service, what I use is a platform called Upwork. But it doesn't have to be through Upwork. You can use whatever you want. There's LinkedIn Jobs, there's Craigslist, like I mentioned. There's a lot of different platforms that you can use to kind of find these warm leads. But for me, like I said, I use Upwork. So, okay, you found a service that you're looking to sell. You found a platform where you can find people who need that particular service. How do I find people who can deliver that service? Well, for me, again, I use Upwork because Upwork is great because not only can you find jobs, you can also find talent or freelancers or people who can work for you, right? There's a client account for Upwork and there's a freelancer account for Upwork. So with the client account, you can find freelancers, and with the freelancer account, you can find clients. So it's like kind of like the best of both worlds. You can literally use Upwork to find clients, get paid, and then use that money to go on Upwork and find freelancers who can deliver the client's work. And that's your agency, that's your business. Now, you don't have to use Upwork. You can use, I've used Fiverr before in the past. The thing with Fiverr, I would say, when hiring a freelancer compared to Upwork, I would say it's a lot more organized and a lot more even like easier to find what you're looking for. The problem with it is, for me, I found that Fiverr was a bit more expensive. I guess that depends, but for the quality of work, I would say it's a bit more expensive, and also it's a lot harder to get people on Fiverr to get on a call with you. So on Upwork actually promotes and encourages you to get on calls with freelancers or clients, like Zoom calls, after like a contract is set up. So it's a lot easier to interview a freelancer and talk to them like in person, or not in person, but online through a Zoom call. And then there's only so much you can kind of understand from a person's skill set and what they can offer through like chat or text based communication. Like seeing someone face to face on camera, or like just talking and hearing their voice on a Zoom call, um, you could get a much better insight on what they can deliver. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I literally had someone comment on one of my videos saying that they want to start their own business, but they don't have any skill sets, or they don't have any knowledge on what they can sell or what they can do. And I was thinking, like, I don't have any skill sets. Like, I sell my business, my agency, we sell social media content creation and social media management for clients and their brands, their businesses. I manage their social media accounts. I don't have any social media accounts personally. I have this YouTube channel, and I have like a really old Facebook account, I guess, that I created back in middle school that I haven't used since middle school. Like, you don't have to be an expert in social media to sell social media services. Like, again, I sell content creation, which includes video editing and graphic design. Like, I don't, like, you think I'm an expert in video editing? Like, look at my videos. I don't know how to, I'm not an expert in any sort of video editing, but I'm selling video editing services and I'm making a lot of money from it. Like, just last month, I hit $9,000 in profit. The month before, I think I hit around 7,000. So I'm still making money from this business model, even though I'm not an expert in it. I don't have skill sets in content creation or social media management. So that was something that I kind of wanted to tell him. But there was only so much I can, again, say in text or chat. So I kind of made a video kind of just to show him, or show where, if you're watching this, show you that, or tell you that you don't need to be some sort of expert in this, in anything, to sell a service pretty much all you got to do is know more about the service that you're selling than the person you're selling it to. So as long as I know more about content creation and social media management than the client that I'm selling social media management to, I can find a way to sell it to them. And again, I started out with absolutely zero knowledge of any of this, especially social media and content creation. But what I did was pure old fashioned research. So I literally sat myself in front of this computer and I just looked up everything about social media, about content creation, about video editing and graphic design, what the best social media managers are doing, what they're charging, whatever it is. I did my own research and found a way to put myself above the from to get myself from zero knowledge to at least like some knowledge. Like I think as long as you know enough to somewhat have a decent conversation with someone about it, like you're good. That's good enough.